Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulil kareem. Amma ba'd. So moving on to the third and fourth secondary meanings of nida. We're going to discuss tahayyur, tazajjur, tahassur and tawajju'. He's mentioned two together basically because they're mutaradif, meaning they're more synonyms. So tahayyur and tazajjur both mean the same thing. Okay? To be at loss, to be bewildered, to be aggrieved. So you can use your sigha of nida to show that you are lost, to show you're bewildered, to show your aggravation. Okay? And he's talking about here, Salma. You have to remember when you study poetry or any of these kind of things, like Salma, one of the famous love stories. Layla and Majnun. I can't remember who Salma's husband or boyfriend was, but she had a love something with somebody else. So Salma comes often, and Layla comes often. We know about Layla and Majnun, that's also used in Urdu and Hindi, etc. But Salma is a very famous Arabic word. So when you say Salma, it means obviously now, this is a love story. So, Aya manazila Salma, ayna Salmaki. Aya manazila Salma, oh manzil, plural manazil meaning houses, area, locality. Houses of Salma, where is your Salma gone? So Salma, I don't know if she went, I don't know the whole story. So at some point, the person said this story. Aya manazil Salma. Who's he calling? He's calling the manazil of Salma. But obviously you can't tell about iqbal because they're not living, they don't exist. They're not living beings. So here it's for tahayyur, to show that he's really lost, he's bewildered, he's sad, that he's not lost his mahbooba. Do you understand? Yes. Do you understand the context? Okay, and this is very commonly وَيَكْثُرُ هَذَا, and this is common في نداء الأطلال والمطايا ونحوها. This is very common in calling out atlal. Atlal is the plural of talal, jama' atlal, ruins. You know, you have like old forts and old fortresses, or old buildings, old villages. When people talk about these and describe these, it's commonly used there. Mataya, mounts, conveyance. Matiyatun jama' mataya. You hear this quite often in the haram, the dua. Allahumma anakhna matayana bi babik. We have put our mounts on your door. We're not going to go back until you forgive us. So matiyatun jama' mataya is mounts, what you mount as a conveyance. Okay, so this concept of using nida for expressing your grief and loss is very common in these kind of things. Okay? You follow? Moving on, the next one is tahassur or tawajju'. Again, tahassur means to be grieved. Sorry, again, similar. And tawajju' to express your pain. Okay? So for example, here, what's happening here? The same poem. Let's go through it again. So again, let's just get istishhad out of the way. Aya, he's used the word aya, why? He's calling out the qabr of Ma'an, the grave of man. You can't call the grave of man, can you? Because it's not a living being. It cannot become muqbil. It cannot become attentive towards you. You following? But he's doing it here to express his pain, his grief, his sorrow, his loss. So the poem is Aya qabr Ma'anin, O grave of Ma'an. Man is a person who the poet is talking about. Kayfa warayta judahu. How have you concealed? How have you concealed his generosity? He's saying he's so generous. How have you managed to conceal his generosity? How do you hide it? Because he's such a generous person, we thought that it would have remained, it stayed in place, even after he's dead. How do you manage to conceal his generosity? And what's the wow? It's wow is waqad. This is hal, this shows hal. So this is the wow hal, wow waqad. You know, fi'l madhi, you have to have waqad. وَقَدْ كَانَ مِنْهُ الْبَرُّ وَالْبَحْرُ مُتْرَعَى. Once the hal was, once the bar and the bahr. Bar is what? No, not bir, bar. ظهر الفساد في البر والبحر. Bar is land, dry land, and bahr is what? The ocean. So وقد كان منه البر والبحر مترعى. مترعى أترعى يترو إتراءً, to be satiated, to be full. Okay. So how did you manage to cover up his generosity when he was alive? Not only the land, but the land and the ocean. Everybody who lived in the land, everybody who lived in the ocean, they were what? They were satiated by his generosity. Do you understand? So obviously, it's a big exaggeration. Obviously, when you have these poets, this is what they normally do, exaggerate in their praise and their whatever they do, they exaggerate. Okay, so you get it here. He's calling the qabr of Ma'an, but obviously it's not a living being, so it's not in nida in its original form. Nida for a secondary purpose. Okay, another example of using nida for expressing like sorrow, grief is what? Ya hasratana ala ma farratna fiha. On the day of Qiyamah, the believers will say what? Yeah, not believers, those who have violated Allah's ahkam and ruling, they regret. They will say what? Ya hasratana, oh our regret, oh how sad, or what shortcomings we have done in regards to Allah's matters. In Surah Yasin, when the mu'min who was murdered, who said, "Ma li la abdu alladhi fatarani." So when he said, after that story is mentioned, Allah says, "Ya hasratan ala al-ibad." How sad it is for the servants. They don't follow. They don't. Okay, we say, "Ma ya'tihim min ayatin illa kanu bihi yastahzi'un." They don't follow the ahkam of Allah. They don't believe in the signs that come to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rather they mock at it and jest at it. Okay.
Also, the ya comes on it. The
Yes.
hasr is actually
Yes, exactly. This is a bit more because in here the word hasra is mentioned itself. In here, there's no hasra. He's actually calling somebody to express his hasra. But in these two examples in the Quran, you say ya hasra. So actually we use the word hasra with the nida to express hasra. Do you understand? Any questions regarding this? Sure? Shall we move on?